General Manager of Hyatt Regency Lucknow, here with us. Welcome to this session, Ashish.
Good afternoon. Thank you so very much. I'm very much honored, and I take this privilege because I belong to the same college, and it has been my alma mater, and I'm emotionally attached to everybody. And thank you very much to Dr. Bose and Mrs. Bose to have me and to address the coming generation, the coming leaders, and the coming entrepreneurs.
Lovely, thank you. Ashish, to begin with, you've had a very wide experience. You've worked with various chains of hotels, right on from, Taj to other chains of hotels, and now you've been with Hyatt for over a decade. Now, share your journey with us.
Yes, so I was privileged to get admission in IIHM, and I joined my college in 1996 and passed out in 1999. And that was a time that we were all trying to give our best. The college was growing with us, and we all were a part of this wonderful college, wonderful institution. And my industrial training happened with the Oberoi Grand Calcutta. And that's how in 1999, I started my journey with JP Palace, Agra, moved on. And the major brands that I have worked with is ITC Moria, ITC Rajputana, Taj Fisherman's Cove, Siddharth de Goa. And 2009 onwards, I have joined this beautiful organization, Hyatt, with Park Hyatt Goa. 2009, I was the front office manager, moved to Hyatt Regency Pune as director of rooms. From Hyatt Regency Pune, moved to Hyatt Regency Chandigarh. That was a pre-opening, so got a pre-opening exposure. That's a complete different ballgame. After Hyatt Regency Chandigarh, moved to Hyatt Place Hampi as a general manager, and then for last 15 months at Hyatt Regency Lucknow as a general manager. That's my journey, and very beautiful journey, very challenging, and very enterprising. And I look forward to contribute more to this industry, more to the generation to come who is going to support this industry and take it to a different level altogether.
Right, absolutely. And coming to that, when you're talking about the youngsters joining this industry, given this present scenario, as we reopen and the industry now slowly is reopening, what are your expectations from these youngsters post-COVID, say, when they're joining, with all the changes that are coming around?
See, there are a couple of things that I would like to recommend to all my youngsters from various colleges. And that first and the foremost is hard work, dedication, and commitment. No substitute of that. Never take a shortcut. You should always ensure that your concepts and your fundamentals are important. Never say that this subject should be given less importance. The principal and the primary subject should be given importance. Everything needs to be balanced. Everything needs to be balanced, and you need to focus on every single day, every single hour of your life while you are in the college. You should start planning for your future. How and when you should set targets, you should set deadlines. You should write on small chits what you want to achieve, when you want to achieve. And you should set your goals. Long-term goals, short-term goals. That's something very important as a youngster to do, because this will help you to be focused. Number two, it's very important to focus on your well-being. It's not very easy subject, but I recommend that everybody devotes 1 hour of your time as a youngster on well-being. It could be anything. It could be doing gym. It could be playing a racket game. It could be practicing meditation. It should be teaching to your your youngsters. So you have to first be emotionally strong, mentally healthy. Then only you will be able to do justice to your studies. You should then only plan how much do you want to contribute to the industry. So all these things in a proper ratio, in a proper, it's a homogeneous mixture of all these traits. And that will help you to be a great professional, a great leader, apart from that, a wonderful human being. That's something very important. We should not forget, at the end of the day, our focus is to be a great human being, a wonderful human being. Okay, that's, we call it in our management theory, lead versus lag. The lead measures are, you focus on these things, the lag is the result. So you don't focus on the result, you focus on the principal commandments, the fundamental things, and then you will obviously get the result. And this is what I would like to tell all my youngsters. Have a goal for yourself. Do justice to yourself. You don't have to impress your parents, your teachers, anybody. You impress yourself. Your best friend is your conscience. You have a conversation with your inner self. That is more important. You talk to them. You will never be able to, be fake to your inner friend of yours, inner conscious of yours. And that's how I was helping myself in my younger days to train myself. You will get a lot of what you would say distractions when you are coming, ups and downs in life. But that's, you should never forget that the more ups and downs that you have in your life, you get more refined, because your mind cells are working to come out of it in the best manner. And the best thing, I would not go into detail. I would recommend one of the great books that all my youngsters and everybody should read is 7 Habits of Highly Effective Person. Would not go to in detail of that. There are 3 habits which refers to the private victory. There are 3 habits which refers to the public victory. And the last habit is sharpening the saw, which means when you are sharpening the saw, you are continuously enhancing your intellect level. You are continuously in line with the modernization, the digital world, the technical world, the upcoming trends in the hospitality industries. You have to know about the current affairs. You have to know about the economics. You have to build up, because in hotel management, there would not be a direct learning to the economics and the other things about the world, but it's your passion that you have to slowly develop and keep sharpening your saw. Like for me, what I would say, that after doing my hotel management, I did registered myself to do a business management. I did registered myself to do a personal management and industrial relationship. What happened that it helped me a lot. It helped me to widen the horizon of thinking. At the end of the day, when you are commanding the hotel as a general manager, you have to focus on so many things. The more things that you get stored in your brains, the better you will be able to explain, and the better you will be able to tackle and handle the situation. Because imagine, and the more you get into the front, you are handling emotions first. And to have the balanced approach towards emotions, that is something important, that you have to be first emotionally strong. And it will definitely lead to your success. You need to have your team members who are willingly ready to commit themselves for the job and give their best. You cannot force anybody to give their best. So if you're emotionally collected, you are enhancing their skills. That's it. That's it. But you have to be charged. There should not be a single day that you are demotivated. Yes, the low phase will come, but you have to deal with it. How can you deal with it? By being emotionally strong. So this is a small piece of lesson and advice that I wish to give to my youngsters. And I'm sure if they follow it, they practice, because I practice till date, they would emerge as the best of the leaders. That's important in life.
Thank you. That's some really valuable advice that you've given our youngsters here today. Ashish, keeping in following the fundamental of sharpening the saw and enhancing your skills. A lot of our students here, in this lockdown period, of course, we've been having online classes for them, but at the same time, they have also been enrolling for a number of online courses. Many students, and we'd also, we are encouraging them to enroll for some courses. What are your views on this? What would you feel? How important would this really be for the students' development?
You see, all these courses that any student is indulging themselves to do, it's a great thing. They should do it. What my point is, while doing this course, and I'm sure at the end of the course you will get a wonderful certificate, and then you flash it, you do it somewhere. The principal thing over here, what I would like to recommend my students is that there is something known as journalism. You should write it while doing anything. There has to be a connect between the brain and the hands. So when you write some points and do journalism, and then you're writing it, and you need to have a time to fare it and go back to those learnings. The most important thing is that after doing the course, we should not forget it. So when you're writing those small points, how you can practice it, how you can give a change to that as per the dimension. Because you see, there are a lot of things, because every business unit that you will go and handle one day as a leader will have a different dimension. No two business unit is same. So what you pick up from your learnings of the past is important. And if you can't forget, because practice, how much of those learnings are brought into practice is something that I would like to focus on. It's very important, very simple. I will tell you, very small thing. In 1996, in my college, I had a professor of management. He used to teach us principles of management. I still remember a short form of it: POCSDCE: planning, organizing, coordinating, staffing, control, direction, evaluation. So what happened? It starts from planning, it ends with evaluation. Now, when I went ahead, when I joined the Taj Hotels, I did a course from Tata Quality Management Service. I was happy to be nominated. Very few of our colleagues got nominated in that. So that was a business model based on Malcolm Baldrige model. We did a detailed class on that. We did a detailed class on Malcolm Baldrige model. So the fundamentals of Malcolm Baldrige model is ADLI: approach, deployment, learning, integration. And after integration, you come to ENI: evaluation and improvement. So these are some business model that 20 years back, 15 years back that I learned, and I just cannot disassociate myself with these. So I go back. Whenever I am in a fix, I go back. I try to do some introspection. I try to find out the solutions. I am not hesitant of doing a mistake. I will do mistake, but I learn from it. If I don't do mistake, that is something wrong. Even today, if my leaders who are not giving me a glitches in their operations, that means they're not trying something new. So that's how in Hyatt we say, and in Hyatt we very beautifully came up with something known as Hyatt design thinking process, which starts with empathy and learn, define, prototype, test. So without a prototype, there is nothing that can be deployed. So all these things makes you a great leader. In that, never ever forget in your life that emotional quotient leads every other quotient. For example, we say about IQ, intelligent quotient. No. Emotional quotient is the most important thing. So, because it will lead you to a better human being. It will help you to connect with all your associates. starting from the top to the last person in your organization, you have to be emotionally connected. How you do it is your upbringing in this industry. So it needs to be balanced. It needs to have a balanced approach. How do you want to really have a happy team? How do you want to have an energized team who is completely every time energized to talk on some new ideas, new deployment things? And this will help you to make a better leader and at the end of the day, a better human being. That's something very important that I would like to focus and give this little 20, 21 years of my understanding to my youngsters.
Lovely. Ashish, you also mentioned a while back that how students must stay abreast of what changes are taking place. They must stay abreast of the new technology and so on. So you've given a lot of importance to the fact that students must know the new technology that is being used, or they must be well versed with, say, digital marketing. Keeping this also in mind, and keeping in mind that a lot of youngsters, they have this aspiration and they have dreams of becoming entrepreneurs, but a lot of them do not know how to get there, how to really achieve this dream. And recognizing this need of these youngsters, Dr. Shubharno Bose has launched Sahas, which is the entrepreneurship cell with the corpus funding of almost 5 crore over here, for their the seed funding. And what are your? This is basically to encourage the young entrepreneurs, the young students, to guide them to become entrepreneurs, right down from the conception of an idea, as you said, that's so important, and then getting it down, start actually implementing that and starting off with their little business. How important, what are your views on this? You've been a youngster, you've been a student here, and having this, you did not have this, of course, in your days, and this is something that Dr. Bose has launched. What would your views be on this?
Yes, I was reading about Sahas the day it was launched, and I was quite excited. Dr. Bose is always an enterprising person. We have learned ourselves a lot from him. Imagine in the year 1996, when 21 years back, imagine how Mr. Bose was, and how he took care from us for us, how Mrs. Bose handled us, like their own children. There was that's how emotionally we are connected to our college.
Right.
And you see, at the end of the day, you have to make some choice in life what you want to do. How you want to contribute back to the industry, back to the society, back to this world. There should always be that some or the other way you can always contribute. You have to be very clear and focused that, like I said, you have to do a goal setting for yourself, short-term goal, long-term goal. As an entrepreneur, you have to have a very open mind. But how will you have an open mind unless you have done some due diligence to yourself, to your mental faculty? How much you have done to sharpen it? How much you have actually done? What are the streamlines that you have thought? So that dedication and commitment needs to be instilled, and good, it has started now. At least people have started on this. So what has happened? This is an initial impulse which people have already started thinking, oh, I can be an entrepreneur. I can contribute back. At least the thought has come in. It will definitely grow up. It will definitely it will have its own life cycle of this thought. This will grow now. People will start focusing. There would be certain dynamics that will be deployed so that people can use those resources to become an entrepreneur. So what my stance over here is that exploit everything which is possible, which is given all the tools that is possible, and exploit it. Stress yourself to have a command on this. And slowly what you will see, it will start building a confidence in yourself. It's a journey. It's a beautiful journey when it's a mind shift that is happening. And we need to be there with our youngsters. We need to hold them. We need to keep motivating them. We need to keep talking to them. We need to have uh, some time spent with them. We need to ask them to speak out. So it's a very what I would say, it's a very much hand holding thing to graduate everybody. Every individual needs to be focused. We need to understand they should have their own roadmap. The every like if it is launched in our college or so, I'm sure there has to be some roadmap, and then people should have their own roadmap. There is, the tools are there, the knowledge is there. It's a digital world. Everybody is exposed to everything. It's just the idea, how the idea kicks up, and then how you come up with the startups, what you can contribute, where your interest lies. You cannot be forced. It's your submission, your willingly submission of yourself, your intelligence to this society, to this industry, that which part you can go and contribute. Some would like to invest in catering, some would like to go to the digital media, some would like to go to the social media, some would like to become a great hoteliers. So they need to understand, okay, if they want to do this, what all acumen you require. Right. So to identifying the acumen and then working on it, and that is the key thing. And then what is your thinking level? You have to just enhance it without any prejudice. So all those things, it's something in a totality. It's a total package. And I'm sure with this, I'm sure Dr. Bose will have great plan, because it's it has just taken a birth. So it will have its own life cycle. And if there is a great motive behind it, then I don't see, at the end of the day, we can have numbers that would prove that through this kickstart, through this, you see what you say, it's an engine in the rocket, the numbers will speak tomorrow that how many entrepreneurs we gave back to the industry. So that's something very beautiful. We have to admire it. We have to absorb it, this particular concept. We have to feel it, this particular concept. And then we will evolve. There is no limit to the brains. There is no limit that after 2 kilometers, the thought of the brain should stop. No. Yeah. So that's my take on Sahas.
Lovely. Yes, Sahas is the wind. I would say it's the wind beneath their wings, literally.
Yep.
You were mentioning about how important it is that students should give equal importance to everything that they study in college. Every subject. There's no one subject that's more important than the other. So that brings me to two main questions here. How important is multi-skilling in today's scenario in hotels? And secondly, what changes would you recommend in the curriculum, so that they fit into the new hospitality industry? New, I would say, means with the changes that I've brought about now.
You see, my first designation of my life in JP Palace was multi-skilled hospitality assistant. It was a big designation. Before I became the operations management trainee and before I became the duty manager. So multi-skilled was something that I have started practicing it at that time, 21 years back. So I'll tell you a great example. So I was in front office, right? We used to do baggage, nothing doing, just JP Palace Agra, baggage tuck, get the baggage, put it in the room, make the errand card. Life was going very smooth, But then at the end of the day, I thought that this is not what I want. So my morning shift used to happen in front office, and evening 6 o'clock after taking shower and getting again groomed, back reporting to the banquets. So the banquet job happened till 2 o'clock in the night. And again, next day morning, 7 o'clock, you have to report. It was the same thing when we were trained with the Oberois. When Oberois, we were getting trained, they never thought us, okay, this is the department that you are meant for. No. That was the kickstart for me. Even if I was in kitchen, I made sure that 2 hours, 3 hours every day I spent in front office. When I was in F&B, I made sure that I changed my uniform to apron and go back to the kitchen. I made sure that I spent at least 1 hour in materials. We used to study, Mr. Kunal Sen Sharma and everybody used to teach us, FIFO, LIFO, bin card in the store. What? I don't know what is that bin card and all. So, first when you go, the people will first not accept you. Be ready for that. That is the time that you start conquering the mind of these people. Till when you will not teach me? If I am inquisitive, 1 day, 2 days, 7 days, that's it. My behavior will force you to teach me. And that was the fundamental principle I followed. So everything, starting from cost control, starting from these nutrition classes, crazy nutrition classes, writing notes. But today, if you see, if I do not know the calorie value or the type of health and the menu planning when you're involved in, from where do you get that knowledge? Where do you get? So even that is important. Even store management is important. I'll tell you one more thing. When I was in JP Agra as a management trainee program, we had a 1 month schedule in kitchen stewarding. So I'll tell you, the first week was pot washing. The second week was guest utensil washing. The third week was staff cafeteria. And the fourth one, if you are lucky and if you have impressed your supervisor, they will actually teach you the inventory management of OEs, operating supplies and operating utensils. So how do you learn that? So you, till when? So it's all about positive attitude and your willingness to learn. So if I would not have learned my inventory management then and there, or food and beverage cost control management then and there, so today, what is your youngsters analyzing you? The moment you're in the game, all your colleagues and everybody start assessing, how is my leader? And how can you impress your colleagues so that they can have a willful submission that you are in the safe hands? Unless your colleagues down the line feel that I'm in the safe hands and I can learn something from you. So the more you invest, the more you get back in your later days. Otherwise, you will keep struggling and running here and there and doing thousands of things of your own, and then you will not be able to again sharpen your saw to enhance your skill so that tomorrow you can again become a mentor or a teacher even to your colleagues. So it's a very beautiful journey. It's a very beautiful game that we would say, our industry. And we are the only industry that we should admire. We should be in love with multi-skilling concept. We should embrace it.
True. And even more so today.
Of course, you have to understand. You have to, and we are in an industry which is everything all about people. Everything is about people.
Right.
So that's the beauty.
Very true. We've been reading a lot about changes in process and, the service changes, the stable process that hotels are bringing about, obviously less contact, social distancing that is going to be taking place. Keeping in mind and looking at the different changes in processes that is going to be taking place in the hotels or have taken place already, how should our students be better prepared to enter and to join this industry?
Okay, first of all, again, I would like to reiterate that with COVID-19, you have to feel yourself more accountable and more responsible. So the moment you start feeling that you are accountable and you are more responsible for yourself and for every single human being that you connect with, you will definitely conduct yourself in the best manner, in the refined and an educated manner. If you are connected to digital and the social media, there are norms that are coming. We need to embrace those things, and we need to understand that that has become the new normal. And we have to embrace it. We have to accept it. At the end of the day, the brand, the equity of the brand, whichever brand you're associated with, people need to have some confidence in your brand. And you are responsible for it. And then the more you embrace it, the more you will put the new normal into practice, the more customer will find your confident in your approach, in your way forward. And accordingly, then at the end of the day, if you're in a business field, you will have to become a market leader. Again, I would like to tell the four words that I generally tell myself. The key fundamental of any business is people. Process, customer, finance. If you have the right people with the right process, in this case, I would say the best practice of COVID and the new normal, your customer will be happy. And if your customer is happy, you don't have to think about your finance. It will come back. At the end of the day, you have a purpose. There are various stakeholders. All stakeholders needs to be happy. You have owners, you have society, you have stakeholders, you have vendors, you have your own colleagues, you have yourself, you have your family. So it's a new normal. There is no shortcut. There is no if and buts. There are big guidelines from the government, from WHO, from ICMR. Just obey, embrace it, accept it, talk to your colleagues, have a session, address the team, address people, talk more about it. Also one important thing, what I feel in our industry is that we should not see all these guidelines and everything that we keep reading in pages. These are some very minute and very small line and a big, huge page. Don't think that this will be absorbed by your last person. How do you simplify it? With some caricatures, with some pictorial learning session. So you have to simplify these things for the mass learning. What we have done in our hotel, we have simplified it. Yes, we have a document, a docket we are following, but that is contained till the leadership team. But bottom line, when it has to flow to the last member, it has to be simplified. How beautifully you simplify it, because the motto is that everybody becomes the part of this thing, COVID-19 discipline. And there is no substitute to the discipline. You have to. And I am sure the more we practice, the better equity we have. Yeah, so that's my take on the new normal, and there is no shortcut to it.
Thank you so much, Ashish. And I think your advice today has been extremely valuable. It's been very informative and help our students to really adjust and work in the new normal. That we're going to be looking forward to when they join the industry soon. Thank you very, very much. And before we sign out today, any last minute advice to our students? Any final advice that you'd like to share with our students? Just one line of advice.
Yeah, just two things. Never let your inner child die. Be kiddish at times. Focus on well-being. And just be a great leader, a great human being. That's more important. That's
great. Thank you so much. Thank you so much. And thank you for taking the time out. I know you were really busy. You've had a very busy schedule, especially with your hotel just reopening.
Yes.
Thank you very much once again on behalf of everybody here. And stay well and stay safe. Wish you all the best.
Thank you very much. And thank you very much for having me. I'm too emotionally attached to my college, and I'm very proud whatever I am because of my professors, my leaders. I can see Mr. Chaudhary smiling at me. And, long stories, good stories, lovely. We love him. And thank you very much, everybody.
Yes, and I thank you on behalf of everyone. A number of the faculty members are listening to us online here, and I thank you on behalf of all of them. I'm sure they're thrilled to have you here online.
Pleasure.
Great,
Thank
and
you.
there's a thumbs up from Mr. Chaudhary there.
Thank you. Yes. Thank you, Mr. Thank you so much.
Great. Thank you very much. Stay safe, and thank you,
Yes.
ladies and gentlemen, for joining us. And we are signing out now from the IIHM Kolkata studio. Thank you all for joining us.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.